The camp of presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos says there's no way they'll agree to Leni Robredo's challenge for a one-on-one debate. Now, the camp of Vice President Leni Robredo is chiding Marcos Jr. for framing debates as something negative. 6 presidential candidates and 4 vice presidential candidates have confirmed their attendance to COMELEC's panel-type interview. And the scorching summer heat is peaking or reaching new peaks both in the Philippines and other parts of Asia. Focused and fearless, here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your weekend. I'm Riza Diaz. The COMELEC confirms that 6 out of 10 presidential candidates have agreed to join the panel interviews they're organizing in lieu of the final round of debates. Recall that the COMELEC canceled the final debates due to supposed issues with the organizer and their non-payment of the hotel where the debate was supposed to be held. Now, the COMELEC, along with the KBP, will be holding a panel interview instead. The presidential candidate who agreed to do the interviews are Ernesto Abella, Leody de Guzman, Norberto Gonzales, Faisal Mangodadato, and Jose Montemayor and Manny Pacquiao. Meanwhile, 4 vice presidentials will be joining the interviews: Rizalito David, Manny Lopez, Carlos Serapio, and Tito Soto. Presidential frontrunner Bongbong Marcos' camp responds to Vice President Robredo's call for a one-on-one debate, saying that this will never happen. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro tells us more in this report.
We owe it to the people. That's what presidential candidate Vice President Leni Robredo said as she challenged fellow Bet Ferdinand Marcos Jr. for a debate. With 10 days left before the May polls, Robredo says voters must be given a chance to scrutinize Marcos. The challenge came after the Vice President begged off from the presidential panel interview by the COMELEC, stating that she attended all of the debates organized by the poll body and now prefers to spend the remaining days of the campaign with her volunteers. But what is Marcos Jr.'s response to the challenge? His camp says that debate will never happen. In a statement, his spokesperson, Attorney Vic Rodriguez, explains the 2 candidates share different views when it comes to communicating with the public, and that Marcos Jr. brings his message of unity straight to the people. His camp also took a jab at the so-called Dilawans for using what they call deception, while claiming that the Marcos camp only does positive campaigning. The move, though, did not come as a surprise to the Vice President. She has earlier responded to the rejection and reiterated that Marcos Jr. owes it to the public to address the numerous controversies hounding him. The former senator has been absent in all presidential debates arranged by the COMELEC and other news outlets, save for the debates organized by the SMNI network of the controversial Pastor Abolo Quiboloy. The same could be said for his running mate, Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio, which was challenged as well by Robredo's running mate, Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Pangilinan says the people need to know what Duterte's plans are and her readiness to lead the country. Pangilinan also called out the poll body to give tougher consequences to debate absentees. Duterte has yet to issue a response. The Leni-Kiko tandem and their senatorial slate are set to hold another grand rally in Laguna. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro, we are One News.
Meanwhile, Vice President Robredo's camp slammed Marcos Jr.'s team for likening a debate to a fight. Speaking to the big story, Robredo's spokesperson, Attorney Barry Gutierrez, said the Marcos camp is only framing debates negatively since Marcos does not want to answer tough questions.
It's extremely disingenuous on their part to try and frame this as debate kasi away at ayaw namin ng away. Everybody has seen what the debates are like. They are question and answer. They are candidates responding very calmly and very politely to different questions and issues regarding their track record, their platform, their plans for the country, their character. So, it's completely disingenuous of them to try and frame this as somehow being a heroic move on their part, umiiwas sa away, when it's clear that they really just don't want to answer the tough questions. They don't want to face off with the other candidates because they are afraid that their candidate will be exposed.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Public Works Department is being questioned over the collapse of the old CLerion Bridge in Bohol that killed 4 people. Gemma Vansenia with the details.
Sheila could not accept the sudden death of her mother Emilia Jimena, who was one of the 4 casualties in the CLerion Bridge accident last Wednesday. Her mother was on board a tricycle when the bridge collapsed. Sheila's daughter, Yana, was almost killed too. She was with her grandmother when the tragedy happened.
Parang siniguro ng nanay ko na mailigtas yung anak ko. Mahal na mahal niya kasi yan. May kulang na daw kasi yan sa ilalim. Napakapabaya nila.
According to Yana, they were on their way home when a dump truck counterflowed.
Wala naman kami itong tulay, then
Wala na sana kami doon sa tulay. Kaso may dump truck na sumalubong kaya pinaatras kami. Ayun, nasira yung tulay. Nakalangoy ako. Nakalabas kasi ako sa tricycle.
Initial investigation cited that the dump truck caused traffic congestion in the bridge, prompting the collapse.
And the combined weight was responsible for bringing down the bridge. I think those markings there, those indicate where the vehicles are at this point in time. And I think, asa dito, gong ang dump truck, ang orange, ang nasa tunga dito, no? That orange one, the one to the right, that's the dump truck.
Wag tama ho ba yung dump truck na yun is working for the new...
That's what I have to appeal sa.
Kasi confirm, ma'am.
Confirm, so sila mismo, it was part of the contractors.
Governor Art Yap joined public works officials led by Secretary Roger Mercado in the inspection of the area. Yap said the bridge was a national project, which makes the DPWH responsible for making sure it is passable.
We're very curious. I wanted to know, was there really a test on structural integrity after Typhoon Odette? So this is very critical. And during the day that the accident happened, or what protocol was being followed to make sure that the area was safe.
For its part, the DPWH explained that they did their best to retrofit the bridge after it was damaged during a 2013 earthquake. Project manager Francisco Sawali also said that they informed the public as well as the LGU on the current status of the bridge. The DPWH is now working on the new Loay Bridge to ensure its structural integrity ahead of its inauguration next month. For News 5, Gemma Vansenia, we are One News.
Pag-asa records 2022's hottest day in Metro Manila on Thursday. The temperatures in Port area Manila rose to 35.9 degrees Celsius earlier this week. The department also logged high temperatures this month with 34.8 degrees Celsius in Quezon City, Science Garden on Thursday, and 35.7 degrees Celsius in Laia last Sunday. To date, Pag-asa has recorded the hottest day ever in the metro on April 30, 1915, also in Port area. In India residents are also struggling with an unusually early heat wave that was brought extreme temperatures to various parts of the country. Let's watch this.
Just living in heat like this is a danger to health. So many people, there's about 1.4 billion people in India who live in the rural parts of India and have no access to air conditioning or cooling systems. And they're sleeping outside to try and keep cool. But even temperatures overnight are excessive. And the stress that puts on our bodies, the ability for our bodies to just work all the time to try and cool us down is obviously causing a lot of health problems.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 9 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.